You are officially an incinerator. Welcome to Incense and Common Sense, the live streams that we do here on the Alert Zone TV. Shout out to everybody because this is a worldwide movement. I would love for you guys and girls, if you're not citizens, to become citizens. You guys and girls already know how to do that by hitting the subscribe button, hitting the like button, hitting the bell that says all, so you can be notified when we drop fruitful and nutritious content in the 2A community. Share, bring people in, have these discussions, whether you disagree with everything here or not. Get these discussions started offline with people that's in your vicinity, people that's in your circle. Shout out to everybody because this is a worldwide movement. We working, family. Toot my own horn. We working. Give everybody a couple minutes to get up in here. Got the incense going. Hope everybody's having a good night. As you come on in the room, make sure you hit the likes button. Hope everybody having a good day. I had a couple things going on earlier. I wanted to do Midday Mania. Don't know if I'm gonna be up for Midnight Madness, so I said, I tell you what, I'll do a 9 o'clock stream. That's kind of in between where it's not too late. Although I'm noticing there's a lot of y'all as citizens of this channel, of this movement. Forget this channel, of this nation, of this planet, of this solar system that we call Alert Zone TV, of this zone. There's a lot of y'all that must work overnight. Cause at nighttime I've been noticing Midnight Madness getting a lot of, the other night, I think we had 200 people. By the time I finished streaming, we had 200 views. I was surprised, you know. But I appreciate y'all, man. Appreciate y'all more than y'all ever know. Give everybody a couple minutes to get up in here. Yeah. So, sorry about that. Everybody, I was kind of running late. I was listening to another stream about something else, and we're going to have a good discussion. I'm going to try not to keep you guys and girls too long. Y'all already know how that go. We'll start off on one thing, and before you know it, we'll be on here for over an hour. And sometime going into 2 hours. I don't know. Maybe one night that I'm well rested, one evening, we'll start a live stream. And hell, as long as y'all want to go, we might go 2, 3, 4 hours, something like that. I mean, it's a lot of work to do that, but it just depends, you know. Definitely. All right, we got William in the building. William Fratelli cooking. What's going on? Is that Calvin? Yeah, what's going on? Giving everybody a couple minutes to get up in here so we can have this discussion. Yeah, because I think this is a discussion that's warranted. There's another subject that I touched, but I think I'm going to revisit it. If I stay up tonight, I'll do Midnight Madness. If not, I'll try and catch it tomorrow. What's going on? What's good, man? Getting ready to start dropping some content, dropping some of that fire content. I mean, I'm sorry. Chris TV is fire content. We nutritious. What's going on? I'm doing good, Nehemiah. We appreciate you stopping in. We appreciate that. Just doing good. Some things came across my mind, and I wanted to discuss it. And as I told you guys and girls, I want to start doing more live streams and doing more live discussions. We working on trying to get better range videos. That's going to progress the way it progress. If you guys and girls want to go over and see that stuff, you guys and girls are welcome to it. But the things where I'm not using the firearm, I think it's just best if we do it live if I have the time. Because everybody seems to like the live stream, so definitely. All right, let's get right on into it. So I wanted to talk to everybody tonight about the pressures of being legally armed. There is a lot of pressures. Yeah, thank you. There's a lot of pressures to being legally armed, and I don't think a lot of people understand that. the number one pressure to being legally armed. And this is one that can cost you your freedom. Is making sure you know the laws in your state, and if you plan to travel outside of your state, making sure you know the laws. That is pressure, because most people don't get into certain things and want to get into the legal side of it. This is why I harp so much. This is why this is the Nutritious channel. I always take into account, before I started this channel and since I started this channel, sometimes I get to go into gun stores or stores that sell firearms. Sometimes I start off blabbing and I don't shut up. It be an hour later, I know the people, especially at these mom and pop joints, you can see their eyes telling me to shut up so I can go on. They can go on about their business. But anyhow, I meet a lot of people that's new firearm owners, and I ask them certain things, and they don't know, and they genuinely don't know. And I start talking to them about that, and they tell me, "Oh, I didn't know that. Oh, I didn't know that." I want everybody to understand something. A concealed carry class is, you're not gonna learn everything from a concealed carry class. You're not gonna go and do a 5-hour, 8-hour, however many hour course your state requires, and you're gonna learn everything about a firearm. You're not gonna even scratch the surface with that. That's just how much knowledge to having your concealed carry permit it is. It is a constant learning process, and the reason it's a constant learning process is because the law is always changing. The way the law is interpreted is always changing. It's hard to change with, for me, I'm still catching up with technology. But technology, if I don't catch up with it, is not going to put me in prison. If I don't keep up with these gun laws, I can wind up in jail on the stupidest technicality. Coming to GunTube, I'm going to say this and I'm going to always say this. If this is not the channel for you, I understand it. Go to a channel that is not just shooting if you don't know a lot of these laws. I don't want no law-abiding citizens getting locked up because they didn't know the law. And I'll bring up a story I brought up in last live stream about a supervisor I used to work under that wound up having to pay somebody's medical bills. Oh yeah, you live in Louisiana? Shout out to you, because I'm born and raised from in New Orleans. I'm born and raised uptown. Louisiana was sportsman's paradise and firearm friendly long before everybody else jumped on the bandwagon. That's definitely one thing. The concealed carry laws and that constitutional carry, we practiced that long time ago. Generation in order, what's going on? So let me get back to what I was saying. So the mere fact that he confronted somebody in a garage that's not attached to his home, he wound up in a civil suit having to pay this guy's medical bills. And as stupid as that sounds, this is how technical owning your firearm and having your concealed carry permits and stuff and knowing your gun laws. This is how much pressure it is on you to know this. Something like that. You guys and girls know medical bills in America are not cheap. I think this happened, I met him in 2015. This happened before that. So I think he said he wound up paying $30,000 or $40,000 in medical bills for this guy. Technicalities like that. Understanding the stand your ground laws and all that. That is, it's not cut and dry like a lot of people think it is. You have to know. And if you don't know, you have to go somewhere where you can learn or somebody can teach you, and you got to be open to it. Because your feelings and the law is two different things. I don't believe that somebody should be allowed to steal your car, and because it's not in your garage attached to your home, you can't go out there and confront them. Because if they steal your car, you got to file a police report. Then that means you got to file an insurance report if you got full coverage with your insurance company. But when you file a police report, they have to put that on file, which means the insurance companies watch all these thefts in all these areas, and everybody's damn insurance goes up because it becomes a quote-unquote high-risk area. So yeah, I think we should be allowed to stop these bastards before they get a hold of anything. And I don't care. I don't want to hear nothing about that's material. That's BS. That's not the point. The point is we should not be subjugated to that. Another pressure of being legally armed. Now, this is one that these next couple is going to hit home. Let me go to another important thing. Dealing with law enforcement. Look, I tell you guys and girls this all the time. Once you become legally armed, on the side of the road is not the place. In some states, I want you to know this because I know some people may not know this. In some states, under their law, you have to let them know when you're stopped by law enforcement that you have a firearm on you. I think Nebraska in the Midwest, and I believe it's Colorado. I'm gonna double check. They may have amended those. I knew at one time that was the law. I don't want to hear about your feelings. I don't want to hear about, well, what the federal law. Look, you're on the side of the road. This ain't the time to pull that fucking stunt. You don't know what these guys and girls, you don't know what's going on. Dealing with law enforcement is something you have to think about like this. Yeah. All right, what's going on, Destro? But you have to just look. I told you guys and girls, by the way, we got over 800 wonderful pieces. All right, what's going on? What's going on, Candy Coach? We have over 800 wonderful pieces of nutrition on this channel. When I talk about encounters with law enforcement, look, I've dealt with the good ones. I've dealt with the rogue ones. I always say this. You have to understand one thing once you're legally armed. At any given time, the one thing your family can't get up there and lie and say is that firearm don't belong to you. Because it's registered to you, you bought it, that serial number comes back to you. Reaching, getting mouthy with them, that's not the time for that. Look, you can do that shit in court. Just understanding certain states have different laws when it comes to dealing with that. Look, this is what I do. Now, I've had a couple times because of where I got stopped. I'll give you guys an example. So here in Iowa, the town I live in, Marshalltown, I was on my way to Ames with a friend of mine. And I'll be more specific. He's Liberian, he's from Africa, you know, what have you. We was on our way to Ames. And Highway 30 is a drug corridor. We were riding westbound, and you passed the county jailhouse, and 2 county sheriffs was in a pickup truck. We passed by them. They was turned. What's going on? Mr. 5-7? They were heading east, and they saw us, and they turned around and followed us west. When they turned around, I told him, I said, okay, listen to me really good. They're going to stop us. They don't just turn around for nothing. They're going to stop us. It's a drug corridor. Let me do the talking. We did the speed limit. They didn't stop us right away. They got a little bit outside of State Center, where it's nothing but cornfields, and pulled us over on the side of the road. Now I have to use my wits. He's not used to dealing with this. I am. He doesn't have a firearm. I do. It's legal. The point is not that it's legal. The point is where they decided to stop us at. I have to be 3 steps ahead of these guys. So they pull us over, and they, ask us where we heading. We going to Ames. Oh, we got a call about this car being all over the world and swerving as though you guys was drunk. And we was like, well, we don't drink. And they was like, well, we not asking, are you guys drunk now? We was like, no, we don't consume alcohol, period. So they started probing and what have you. I had my SD9 under my shirt, appendix carry. The reason I didn't say nothing is because of where they decided to stop us at. So they asked him for his driver license, registration, insurance, and all that stuff. And You know, I asked him, okay, is it okay for him to reach since there's two of us in here? They say, yeah. So he reached, he get his stuff, they go and run his stuff, and they come back and they talk to us for a few minutes, and they let us go. So then when they let us go, I tell him, the reason I didn't told them I had that gun is because they had ample opportunity to stop us by the gas station. But they kept on letting us drive. And I didn't like that they stopped us out here by this cornfield. So I was going to go ahead and use my wits and wait until the last minute possible to let them know I had a gun on me. So, but for the most part, I usually let them know, you know, if they pull me over, you know, I let them do their little police thing. I know in New Orleans, once I let them know I had a gun, they would make me get out, you know, search the car, all that other stuff. Look, I ain't got time to be screaming and shouting with these guys and provoking them. Let them do their police thing. I'm not doing nothing wrong. My driver license, registration, and insurance is up to date. That firearm belongs to me. Go ahead and do what you got to do. I ain't got nothing in the car. But you have to remember, when you have a legally owned firearm on you, you have to be very careful about how you deal with these guys. Because, look, I'm just going to go ahead and say it how it needs to be said. You reached, I'm in fear of my life, it's standard protocol. We see it all the time, and I'm not going to even racialize it, because it happens with everybody. I've seen it living up here in Iowa. It happens with everybody. You don't want to be in that position. Do what you got to do and get on, survive the encounter. Another pressure of dealing with being legally armed when you're young. Now, giving up your rights, I understand. You can be respectful, but I'm just telling you, be 2 or 3 steps ahead of them. You know what I mean? You know when you got one of these Derek Chauvin types. I've been stopped by those types. I've been stopped by the guys and girls who just want to check my paperwork and let me go. I've been stopped by the guys and girls who want to search me, but they won't play this fucking word game of, well, if you don't have nothing, why I can't search you? I've been through all that. This next one is something that cuts across racial, gender, and ethnic lines. Letting people put you in the middle of a life-changing situation. What's going on, Tactical Ski now? Letting people put you in a life-changing situation where you can lose your life. Forget losing your life. Go to prison behind their foolishness. Let me explain something to you. The younger you are getting legally armed, sometimes you have your damn friends around you and they fucking want to encourage you to do shit. They want to go and do shit because they know you got a damn gun, and they feel like now they can go start shit with people and then call you for fucking backup. Do you know what that's called if something go wrong? Going armed with the intent. That's what that's called. If they can prove, and in this day and age, everybody loves the damn Facebook and Instagram, every fucking thing they gonna do. If they can encourage you, or they can find, okay, the messages, because that's the first thing they do now is take your phone. Oh, okay, we see the message. Say, bruh, just came around here and got at it with that so-and-so. Man, come around here, I need backup, and bring that pistol with you, or bring that thing with you, or whatever slang you're going to use. You showed up armed with intent. That's what that message shows. Also, this is going to hurt a lot of people. I'm from New Orleans, Louisiana. The state of Louisiana have a lot of inmates in Angola State Penitentiary that's locked up because their mom couldn't keep a damn mouth shut. You guys and girls, let's just go ahead on and get it out here. A lot of dudes that lost their life and their freedom because they know they got a messy mom that don't shut up. She goes out and she starts stuff with people because she been doing this since she was a little boy. She go out, she mouth off to other people's children, she antagonize them, and then she go call you to go out there and fight them and tell them, oh, that little boy was mouthing off to me. Your friend that you know for a fact he's not that type, but you got to get out there and fight him because that's your mom. Yeah, girlfriends too, I'm going to get to them. I'm touching on the mom because this is the one that's the most sensitive, but this is the one nobody likes to talk about. A lot of guys right now in Angola, well, it's nighttime now. They sleeping or getting ready to go to sleep. They gonna get up at 4 o'clock in the morning to get ready to go to work and work out there in that damn field because they had a mom that all she did was antagonize people, and she went out there just like that woman did up there, and I think it was Brooklyn, who got into that argument. She started that argument cussing them people, kids out, and McDonald's that worked there. Then she called her son, and her son came in there and aired the damn joint out and lost his damn freedom behind his mom. They let his mammy go home, and they locked him up at 21, 22, 23 years old. It happens more than people would like to talk about it. I know it's forbidden in America to do that, and it sounds like you're throwing your mom under the bus, but a lot of y'all know. A lot of y'all troubles came because your mama started a lot of shit, and then came and got you. And who's gonna tell their mama no? And in the hood, you definitely can't tell your mama no, because now the whole hood gonna be mad at you. And then they'll tell you after you get out there and fist fight or shoot or cut somebody, man, your mama was wrong for that, but you know that's mama. You can't tell her no. She wrong for that though. Yeah, she wrong for that. They telling you she wrong for that while you in handcuffs about to go to prison for the rest of your life. You guys and girls gotta think, man. Your girlfriends. Some of y'all got wives. Hell, husbands. Some of y'all women got husbands that can't shut the fuck up. And they go out there and they start this shit with people, and then they come and get your damn gun. Let me go ahead and address this since we having this discussion. Because ladies, y'all need to hear this. I know a lot of y'all like these quote unquote bad boys and all this other craziness. He's gonna go and get himself locked up in a felony for whatever reason. And I'm only talking about guys who became felons that was actually guilty. I don't mean guys that got railroaded. He's gonna get out. You gonna love him. He's gonna take you to the gun shop or to the pawn shop, and he's gonna tell you a list of guns he wants you to buy. But they're gonna be in your name. So when he goes out there and starts shit with people, he's gonna call you or he's gonna come home and get your gun. He's gonna come and get your gun, and he's gonna fucking shoot somebody. Well, he's a convicted felon with a firearm. He can't have it. The first thing they want to know is, what was he doing living in the house with firearms? Number one. Number two, why did you let him have access to that? And the next thing you know, there was a case on the first 48. It was sad. That man went out there and shot that behind a teenager fight, and shot that other man and killed that man. And his wife had a damn daycare, and she lost everything because she went and got a bunch of guns legally for her husband that he went and killed somebody with. Look here. From experience. I'm talking from experience. I had those peer pressures when I was 18. Man, your friends that you know are shit starters, man, you pull their fucking ass to the side and you let them know, hey man, look here. You go out, you start shit with people, you and your own. Because at the end of the day, this is mine. This is registered to me. You going home, I'm gonna go to damn prison. And you ain't gonna send me a penny. And if my old lady fine enough, the minute they drive off in that patrol car, you gonna be sliding up on the side of her talking about what's happening with me and you. Cause it don't look like he coming home no time soon. Yeah, the straw purchase, you know. So, another pressure of being legally armed. But this is the one I encourage people that can be legally armed that have a temper. One thing I've learned from people, and I know people personally, they went 0 to 1,000,000 in a millisecond. They got legally armed and they calmed down completely because now this belongs to me. Now I have more laws in place. Now I have something to lose. It's not always worth going off. I hear a lot of guys say, you know, My wife said, or my lady said she don't want me with no gun because I'm going to go off. Yeah, that's a lot of people. And I'm starting this discussion because I want you to understand something in this world. You might be going through something, but you wasn't the first person, and you might not be the only person. And sometimes to understand a situation and get through it, sometimes you just have to run into somebody that's going through it or that's been through it and can walk you through the steps. I'm bringing this up because of people I know. People I knew when I was younger. And I watched what it did for them. I've been in enough gun ranges and talked to enough people to talk to people who said I used to be a hothead before I got legally armed. But now that I know I got something to lose, it ain't even worth having arguments no more. Unfortunately, we got that small few that go get armed and then they go looking for trouble. All they looking for is an opportunity to shoot somebody. And that was basically the meat and the motivation behind this particular live stream, because I saw somebody do that. Saw a video of a guy, I guess he enticed another guy or something and wound up shooting him in the back 3 times and then saying self-defense, and they took him to jail and they prosecuted him. He was found not guilty of first-degree murder. They was hung on second-degree murder. But basically, they're going to retry him because they want to convict him of murder because he shot the man in the back 3 times. But I just thought that this was something that needed to be discussed. The pressures of being legally armed, because there's a lot that comes with being legally armed. And like I said, hearing the bump in the night, yes, I understand it. Hearing the bump in the night, you grab your shit, you jump up. Hell, if I hear things at night, hell yeah, I've been grabbed my shit, jumped up and went outside, make sure nobody was getting in the house or whatever. I've done it. But you still need to know what's the laws. And being legally armed, one thing it does pressure you to do is to learn it. And that's a good thing. Now, what's good for you people that's new to firearms is GunTube. Y'all don't have to do it the hard way like we did. Y'all don't have to go to class. Y'all don't have to get out and talk to people. Y'all don't have to be reading these dry laws. And for you guys and girls who don't know, when they pass a law could be pages. Pages and pages and pages of dry reading. We give you guys and girls the Reader's Digest version. You guys and girls can tune to us, and within a couple of minutes, you can get the gist of what a law is. And if not, you can do 2 or 3 other things and turn this stuff on and listen to it. Yeah, you know what? You're right, Tactical Skill, you know. That right there is the hardest part of being legally armed, especially for young people. That is hard for somebody that's young, because what do you do in one breath at that age? At that age. We just out here kicking, we talking. Make sure y'all hit that like button. At that age, you still have the mind frame. Do I go with my guys and back them up unconditionally? Or now I'm at least 18 because I'm legally armed. I'm starting to develop my life as an adult. I'm seeing a bright future for myself. Do I tell them, hey man, I can't get involved in it? And a lot of guys and girls get under that peer pressure and they buckle. And the reason they buckle is they don't have nobody to talk to about it, and they don't have nobody that makes them feel comfortable. Oh, you got another Glock? Okay. Okay, you got another Tonka truck? But yeah, so I always think about that when you're young. And I just want to encourage the young gun owners. I'm going to say the 18 to about 25-year-old. Because them the ones when it comes to dealing strictly with their friends. Look, listen on. don't feel bad because you chose your peace and your life and your freedom over foolishness. We all, let me tell you something. Everybody got that one friend, especially at a certain age. You have that one friend that no matter what, you never gonna tell them no. And they know that. And sometimes they take advantage of that. They go get into things knowing it doesn't matter. Rest his soul. My best friend, he passed on a couple years ago. About maybe 2021, I think it was, when the pandemic hit. Okay, well, you got into him. That's all that count. You got into him. That's all that count. Rest his soul, though, my best friend. He passed on. I met him when I was 5 and he was 4 years old. And everybody knew we was like this when we was younger. Literally conjoined at the hip. Like Siamese twins. He knew no matter what he got into, I would never tell him no. And as we got older, I had to sit him down and have a talk with him. And tell him, look, you're one of the few people on this planet that if you came and got me and told me we gonna get on top of the roof and jump head fucking first, I wouldn't even question you. I would just go ahead and jump with you. You know I ride with you through thick and thin. We adults now. We parents. Hey man, we're gonna have to start slowing down, bro. You're gonna have to think more about some of this stuff you get into. We're not in elementary, we're not in middle school, we're not in high school no more. We're not in our late teens, early 20s no more, bro. You're gonna have to slow it down. We building a life for ourselves. And it was a hard conversation to have. We never stopped being best friends. He just knew there was certain people that wasn't my cup of tea and I stayed away from. For you guys and girls who always talk about that keep it real and all that hood shit, he's already passed on. But if he was living, he'd tell you. When he got in trouble, he knew who to call. Once he became a felon, he got caught in a car with a gun. His lady at the time was an armed security guard. She left a duty weapon in the car. He was already a felon. They wanted to give him 10 years. I put my clean as the Board of Health record on the line. And I went and met with the lawyer. And I met with the prosecutor. Okay, that's good deal, good deal. Got another one. I met with the lawyer, I met with the prosecutor. We sat down and I helped negotiate his plea deal. He went from facing 10 years, because they wanted to give him 10, to doing 10 months. Because I sat down and structured everything and I put my not having a record on the line. And thank goodness he got in no more trouble after that. But that's just how much me and him was like this. I was willing to go that far for him. And a lot of y'all out there that's young out there, y'all don't have them kind of friends anymore. Y'all don't even really know what friends are. A lot of y'all young dudes. And I'm talking about y'all young dudes and chicks that's into the underworld, into that lifestyle. A lot of y'all don't have that kind of camaraderie with each other. So, but nevertheless, you know, I just want you guys and girls out there to understand something. Y'all getting these family arguments. Fellas, if you got a lady that every time you look up, she's hollering and screaming with somebody and cussing and carrying on, you have to think about that. Ladies, if you got your man that every time you look up, he's jumping up in somebody's face, you might want to think about that. Because guess what? Once that door cell slams and you smell that moldy smell or however the jailhouse smell, and you around a bunch of damn sexual deviants, and I said it, you around locked up, and I don't mean just the guards, I mean the staff too. You around a bunch of sexual deviants for the next 30 or 40 years behind a split decision for something you didn't even have nothing to do with. It's not worth it. It's not worth it. You know what I mean? And so you have to just ask yourself, is this situation worth me coming out there for? Sometimes they do get into things, and yeah, you gotta come and back them up. I've known that side too since I've been legally armed. They've gotten people I've known got into situations and I had to show up as backup just in case, we had to get busy. Thank goodness, knock on wood, we didn't have to, but just saying. So that's something you always want to think about when it comes to being legally armed. It's a lot of pressure. It's a lot of mental more than it is physical. Because if this ain't armed, this one gonna send you to jail. What's going on, Carl? I can't call it. Just sitting here chit-chatting. Sitting here running my big mouth. Just trying to share information with everybody. Like I said, as I'm doing this live stream, somebody just bought their first gun. Yep, you're right about that. Just having somebody's buying their first gun. It's somebody's birthday today. So I always think about the new firearm owners, and I always want to give them a guide that they can go by. Yeah, you just don't never know what's gonna happen, Yeah, you gotta pick your battles carefully, and I'll be honest to say, there was a time that I was a wild fella. I'm not gonna go into super detail, but there was a time I was a wild fella, and I was riled up, and that Napoleon syndrome was kicked in hard. But you know what? As you get older, well, not even so much as you get older. As you get something to lose, once you realize your freedom is priceless, and being on this side of the fence is priceless, and that's something you have to lose on top of everything that comes with it, you stop being so wild and head first about everything. Everything don't become opening somebody's head up or pulling somebody's coat up. You can pull their coat without having to pull their head. You learn all that. Because at first, all you want to do is pull heads. You start pulling heads. Sometimes you just got to pull their coat, man. And some people, you guys and girls, for men especially, sometimes if you sit down and discuss it, you can iron out whatever issue you have. To give you guys an example. So I got the TV series American Gangster. The first season and the second season. They never did the third. The one about Felix Mitchell Jr. out there in Oakland. And there was a guy in Mickey Moore who talked about how after the drug war, after him and Felix got locked up, or right before they got locked up or whatever, they had a discussion and Felix told him what sparked the whole thing, and he told him that somebody was posing on his turf that they had another group's drugs, and that was false. He said, Felix, all you had to do was come and talk to me, and all this would have been avoided. Sometimes the person you have an issue with, you guys and girls might even not know what the real issue is. You may have an assumption. Sometimes just having a chit chat with them can squash the whole thing. That don't mean you gotta be their friend and kiss their butt, but you avoided a problem. Man, look here. I can't speak about other countries, but I can speak about America. And if you in the state of Louisiana, goodness gracious, you hear the stories about Angola from the time you take your first, when the doctor slap you or whatever he do to get you to take your first cry and your first breath, you already hearing about Angola. You hear the horror stories. Yeah. Well, you know what I'm saying. But yeah, you hear the horror stories. And I don't know how other state prisons are. I know I live in Iowa. But in Louisiana, you go to Angola, you going to work 7 days a week. Ain't no sitting around eating soups all day and running hustles and all this other nonsense. In Louisiana and Angola, you're going to get up every morning. I'd say this. When you have some time, go to YouTube, type in Angola prison in Louisiana. There's, I don't know how many videos. When you have time, just sit back and watch them. There's a show on Hulu right now called Louisiana Lockdown. That one of the saddest things that I thought I ever seen in these prison shows was a grandpa was meeting his grandson for the first time in prison in Angola. The granddaddy had already been there, I think 40 years, something like that. Yeah, he was going on his 40th year, and his grandson had just caught a life sentence for apparently, allegedly, being a getaway driver in a murder. And the grandpa said, they told me don't leave and go out that night. And he said, man, oh, you ain't gonna never come back. He told them, give me my keys, I'm gone. He said he left, he went across the river. He said from there he went to Orleans Parish Prison and then straight to Angola. And he met his grandson for the first time in prison. And his grandson had to sit there and lie to his son and say, tell my son I'm working out of town. Because he was too embarrassed to let his son know that he was in fucking prison for the rest of his life. Louisiana second-degree murder, that's why they go for that, because it's easier to get. That's life without parole in Louisiana. And most of the time, they'll put no commutation or sentence or what have you. That way they know you can't ever get out. You gonna work on that farm until the day you close your eyes, or until you get in the infirmary and you just too sick to work. It ain't worth it. It ain't worth it. You gonna go back there and get a life skill you can't take home. 90+% of them dudes in Angola will never go home again. And it's sad because you see them young. You see them out there 18, 19 years old. You see them out there 18, 19 years old, man, doing life sentences. It's just not worth it. And some of them, when you listen to them talk, they'll tell you, never been in trouble. First time I ever even got arrested, and I'm doing a life bid in Angola. It's that quick. Even something as simple as getting in the fucking car. Getting in the fucking car. Now, I will always say this. If you're willing to suffer the consequences, then go ahead, be my fucking guest. But if you can't see yourself at 22 years old, spending another 50 or 60 years in prison, don't get in the car. Don't take that ride. If you do, and that's the sad part, some of these guys and girls don't process that, number one. Number two, you got these jailhouse dudes telling them, well, you a first-time offender. They gonna give you a slap on the wrist. Yo, you should take the charge. You don't got no charge. You ain't never been convicted. You don't try that in Louisiana. Can't speak of no other states. Here in Iowa, I can't even tell you guys that the leniency I done saw with some of the things here. You got to do a heinous crime to get life in prison here. But in Louisiana, yeah, once them folks give you life, that's it. You gon' either your family gonna come for your body if they still remember who you are if you live 50 or 60 years, or you gonna be buried on the hill. Yeah. So, just that kind of stuff. You know, I want all my legally armed people out here, but especially the young people. Please learn the laws. Come to places like this. Like I said, we got over 800 wonderful, nutritious pieces of video for you. Come and listen to one of the videos. You can do that while you're at the gym on the exercise bike or on the treadmill or something like that. You can do yourself something like that and get in shape and learn. because, like I said, all it takes is the blink of an eye. Now, another part of being legally armed that I think needs to be talked about, and I like to put pressure on everybody to get a concealed carry permit just in case you decide to leave your state. You never know when you're going to have to cross state lines. Hurricane Katrina, a lot of people wind up in Texas. Some people was able to grab their gun and what have you because their houses didn't flood right away. But let's just say you live close to a state line. People in New Jersey go to New York all the time, right over the damn bridge. People in Philly go to Jersey all the time. You go to Philly, go over that Walt Whitman Bridge, you're in Jersey. Something that quick. Just living in that area, within a matter, depending on the traffic, of minutes, you can be from Pennsylvania to New Jersey to New York, just like that. So, knowing the laws, a lot of people have went to prison and lost their gun right privileges because they crossed into the state of New York City, and forgot they had a gun in the car and got stopped. Just something as simple as, damn, I forgot I had this gun on. So that's why I always say, know the laws, but have your concealed carry permit in case you go somewhere, you cover. And also, make sure you know the reciprocity of that permit. Oh no, I got plenty of gun content on here, Lazy. I'm not gonna show one on the live because that'll get me kicked off. But if you want to see any firearms on this channel, hell, I just went to the range Sunday. I posted 4 or 5 videos Sunday of me shooting. So I just thought to everybody that I would just have this discussion, talk about it because it needed to be talked about. The pressures of being legally armed, and one of the biggest pressures is knowing the law, not only knowing the law, knowing how to conduct yourself, avoiding traps, and learning how, as we say in New Orleans, learning how to feed people with a long handled spoon. You can still be their friend, but there's certain things you're not going to engage in with them because you don't want to pay the consequences. When they know you illegally armed, like I said, sometimes your sisters, sometimes your brothers, sometimes your cousins, they go out and start stuff so they can call you because they figure you got that gun. So this is things that I thought I'd talk about. With that being said, I'm going to let everybody get out of here. We all did good on the likes. Our peak was 20, and we got 20 likes. I appreciate y'all. Wherever y'all gonna be at, we gonna do another live stream. Let me see. Maybe I might do Midnight Madness. If not, I'm gonna try and do one tomorrow. I think it's gonna be a very, very good topic because I've already touched on this once, but it's coming to play, and I want to talk about it in real time. So we'll have that discussion. I want to poke some holes in some things about it, and some people may not feel too good about what I might have to say, but if you listen to me and you follow me, you'll understand why I'm saying what I'm saying. So with that being said, I'm gonna let everybody get out of here. I appreciate y'all for tuning in. Without you guys and girls, there is no me. I would be a loudmouth guy talking about firearms and having people telling me to shut up. All I'm doing is talking about craziness. So I appreciate y'all more than y'all ever know. If you like what you hear here, if you ain't subbed, sub to the channel, hit the likes button, all that stuff. For people that have young firearm owners around them, share this broadcast, share this live stream with them so they can hear some of the things that they're going to have to deal with. And let them see from somebody else that may not know them that it's okay to choose their freedom and choose having a meaningful life on the outside than it is to let somebody suck them into the graveyard or to prison. With that being said, everybody, I'm gonna let y'all get out of here. Until next time, stay safe, stay armed, stay on high alert, and we out.